So, Chuck, let us get now to the hockey. Development camp, final day of the drills, watching dudes practice. I'm sure it's thrilling stuff for you, but run us through what you've seen. We kind of went through some of the prospects the other day, but the big name guys like Jet Luchenko, we'll start with the headliner. What, any updates? See anything new out of him? Do anything exciting? Anything concerning?
Yeah, not really. I thought he was fine. The big thing with him is his skating. And that pops every time you watch him. Like, he just has the ability to accelerate. He has the explosiveness, and it's impressive. Now, I wouldn't say that he jumped out in any other way today, other than the fact that he's just faster than basically everybody at this camp. But he was fine. I'm intrigued to see how he looks in the scrimmage, because that's when we'll get to see if, he can make moves with the puck at his speed against other players in an actual game-like setting. That's going to be interesting. But I wouldn't say he was one of the big standouts today. That said, I didn't think there were a ton of gigantic standouts today. It was a pretty, I wouldn't say it was a chill day. It was a battle day. There were competitive drills, to be sure. But I don't think there was, 2 or 3 guys where I thought to myself, man, they look incredible. Like, Oliver Bonk had a solid day. He played good defense. I got quite a few videos of him stuffing opposing players, or I guess teammates, who are not really opposing players because it's development camp. But, on a drill, he was able to shut down an offensive attempt. He was fine. I don't think he was incredible, but he was fine. He looked like a top-tier prospect, same as Luchenko did.
Yeah, I wanted, with it being battle drills, Oliver Bonk, obviously one of last year's draft picks, a first-rounder, really broke out last season, but you'd like to see him be, I guess, physically assertive in drills like this. Is that something you can confidently say, like, oh yeah, he is absolutely, like, amongst his peers, guys his age, prospects, he is more than capable in these situations?
Yeah, he certainly never looked overwhelmed. And to be honest, there's actually quite a few players at this camp that are significantly older than Bonk, because there's a lot of camp invites here. And a lot of those camp invites are on the older side. They're 20 and older. So Bonk isn't, I would say, one of the older players at this camp. But yeah, he looks good. I would say that in the corners, in front of the net, he looks very much able and capable of fighting and winning those battles. Was he dominant in those physical battles? No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, he lost some, but he looked good. And he's got the positioning. He has those natural instincts, I think, that, he knows how to seal guys off. The guy I will say, if we're talking about defensively, and maybe this shouldn't come as a shock given it's his calling card, like, Hunter McDonald looked really good at defensive drills. He particularly, when he gets someone along the boards, they ain't going anywhere. I mean, the physical strength, the positioning, the leverage, that's all there. And I actually thought, I thought he had a good day, because I thought that Wednesday, Thursday was 4th of July, so they did not practice. So it would have been Wednesday. I thought Wednesday he looked good. He looked good defensively, but whenever he had the puck, it was clear he didn't have a clue what to do with it, particularly when they were on the attack. Today, he was doing more things with the puck. He had a couple goals, just like one-timers. His shot looks heavy. I don't think he's going to score a ton, but it's not a weak shot. He can bomb it. There's some power behind there. And he was making some better passes with the puck. Because on Wednesday, he was good at passing, if you're talking about like a quick first pass on the breakout, because they do a ton of breakout drills. But when he was moving up ice with the puck on the attack, it was just like he didn't seem like he knew what he was doing. He made smarter plays with the puck today, where he was actually finding guys on 2-on-1s and just moving the puck better on the rush. That's never going to be a major part of his game, but he has to be able to at least not be terrible at it. He can't be destroying every rush he happens to be on. And today he showed a little bit more, and the defensive skills, they're undeniable. So the more you watch him, you do see what the Flyers like in him. Now, whether he's going to be such an offensive liability that it's not going to allow him to take full advantage of his clear defensive skills, we'll see. But you watch him play, and you can see why the Flyers think he can be an NHL defenseman, to be sure.
So it's Like, and that's what I wanted to, okay. So like the Flyers think he's going to be an NHL defenseman. And I love hearing
Yeah.
that he looked good in this stuff. Like, he's my guy, man. I'm all about Hunter McDonald. They've sold me on him. But like when you say take full advantage, is it more like, yeah, I see the NHL potential, but is he going to be a 14-minute a night guy because he has so little offense versus an 18-minute a night guy because you can put him out there in more offensive situations? Is that what might like, is that what you mean when like hold him back?
Well, it's hard for me to say because I mean, in the end, he's going to get ice time from the Flyers, and the Flyers really like him, so they're going to use him. For me, it's more like I think he's a bottom half of the lineup defenseman. And I think they even believe that he's like his ceiling is something like a 4, and most likely he's more of a third pair guy. Maybe you could put him on a top 4 pairing with a puck mover, but he doesn't necessarily get as many minutes as the puck mover. Like they strategically deploy him. To me, it's more like he's gonna get an opportunity, whether it's this year or next year. He's gonna play. Is he a guy where if you look at his underlying metrics, he's on the ice for 40% of the expected goals, and his underlying metrics, his shot differential, his expected goal differential, it's in the toilet because every time he's on the ice, the Flyers create zero offense because he's just incapable of helping even a little bit. Like that's my big fear. I'm thinking back to, like a guy like Robert Haig, where, Haig played because the coaches liked him, because he had physical tools and because he hit. But when he was out there, the Flyers got crushed from a shot and chance differential standpoint, and it hurt their chances of winning. Now, for me, I do see enough in the physical tools for McDonald to hope that maybe, I think the dream outcome for somebody like him is like a Chris Tanev. Like that's the dream where, he's got good enough physical tools where you can stick him next to a puck mover and his underlying results can be good. And he's never going to produce a ton of points. He's never going to score a lot of goals, but he could be a great complement to a puck mover while bringing that intimidation, that defensive zone play, that physicality that teams really want. I just worry that is he going to be the guy where every time they throw him out there, the Flyers are spending 70% of the time in the defensive zone. And he's real good. We used to joke about it with McDonald. He's real good at generating defense, but that's only, a little bit of the game. The best defense is having the puck. And if McDonald is poor enough with the puck that the Flyers don't have it that much when he's out there, he might get ice time, but he's going to be hurting the Flyers' chances of winning. Like that's my big fear with McDonald. Not that he's not going to make it, because the Flyers made it very clear they're going to give him a shot. Is he going to be a net negative on the ice because he doesn't have enough going for him beyond the defensive skills? You're seeing like parts of it pop in this camp. I'm still not 100% sold, but I'm willing to give it a go.
McDonald, Drysdale, Charlie, the future, the best third pair in the league. I can't wait.
Ouch.
That's what's gonna,
ouch.
That's what's going to win us the cup. They lost the cup because they had no third pair. All right. Like,
I'm just saying, if Jamie Drysdale's a third pair defenseman long term, they are going to be very disappointed.
Maybe it's just an awesome third pair. Like what if like York and Sanheim stick together? That's not a third pair. Bonk and then, whoever, not Victor Hedman now because he re-upped with the Lightning, but Bonk and whoever they end up drafting or buying or whatever. There's only so many, like you're the third pair on an awesome defense, maybe. I'm not disparaging the man. I still have high hopes for him. Hunter McDonald, Jamie Drysdale. Killing it. Did anything else really stand out at the scrimmage today or at the development camp? Scrimmage is tomorrow at 6. They do a fan fest thing. You were saying that's pretty cool. So you can get autographs from the prospects. Like that's a good time for all. But anything else before the scrimmage tomorrow?
I thought a couple of guys who maybe hadn't necessarily stood out to me in the first couple days of camp that had better days that legitimately like maybe stand up and take notice. I thought Denver Barkey had his strongest day. He made some legitimately solid moves with the puck, especially in close. He looked strong offensively. He showed that bite to his game that people love. And I really don't I'm not good at watching goalies, but I can tell you that Carson Bjarnason was making a lot of really good saves. That this was the first day where, because it's basically at this camp, it's basically just him and then 2 camp invites.
Yeah.
And the first couple days, like it was kind of hard to tell, like, okay, which one's Bjarnason, which one is the other guy, the Princeton guy or whatever. This time, like, it was abundantly clear when Carson Bjarnason was in net because the pucks weren't going in.
I saw the video of the one reach back save with the little Bob-esque there with the stick coming back for it. That was really good. I saw you tweet out about Alex Ciernik and the concussions he went through last season, had a couple of them. Did you want to talk about that a bit, maybe? It's developing.
Yeah, that was fair. I mean, we talked to Ciernik, and I knew about this. Like, I knew that he had these issues. Basically, my understanding, what I've heard from the people I've talked to, is he got hurt earlier in his season. He got concussed, and Ciernik essentially confirmed all this today. Like, this was all, you know, he didn't shy away from it, and he really, really wanted to play in the World Juniors. So I think, you know, he went through the protocol, he passed the protocols, but he probably came back too soon because he really wanted to play in World Juniors. Then he goes to World Juniors and he gets concussed a second time. And it probably, I don't think this is a case of like, well, now he's prone to concussions. I think it's that they probably should have waited longer, but because he wanted to play and because he passed all the things and said he didn't have any symptoms, they let him go. And then like a game or two in, he gets concussed again. Then after that, they took it real careful with him. Like, he basically told us that, you know, he didn't have symptoms, but they kept him out for like another month and a half, 2 months after his symptoms stopped, just because they were like, okay, this ain't happening again. The positive is like, he seems fine now. The negative is it did basically ruin his entire Draft Plus One season. He's an exciting prospect. Like, I like that pick in the 4th round. It was an upside swing. He's got real skill. And his Draft Plus 1 year just kind of got wrecked by concussions, which sucks. But it'll be interesting to see how he does this year. I believe he said at the end of his interview today he's going to be with a new team in Sweden. I imagine he's probably still going to play in the Allsvenskan, but I'm not 100% sure on that front. I need to go dig in on that. But this will be an interesting year for him, I'll say, because last year kind of seems like it was a bit of a wash due to the injuries. Hopefully he's fully past the concussions, and then we can see if the Flyers did truly get a steal in round 4.
That is so scary, man. Just, you can have all the protocols in the world, but at the end of the day, it's like, hey, you got a headache? Nah. Oh, all right. Well, I guess if he says he has no symptoms, you know, like, you can only do so much diagnosing, and it makes sense that they're like, no, we're not letting you back out there. You already lied to us once, basically, you know, or if not lied, like, maybe weren't as forthcoming as you should have been. You know, we're going to take it a little more seriously. We're going to be a little more strict with this. And hopefully he has that bounce back season and we see him soon. We've seen guys like Pascal LeBurge, like, oh yeah, man, he's exciting prospect. And just some guys, it just happens to, and that's that. Some dudes bounce right back from him and some don't. Hopefully he's one that this is just a little bump in the road for him.
We all silly like the mayor.